I feel honored to have this time to tell you about this incredible company that's given us such an unreal opportunity. I've been blessed to be around entrepreneurs basically my whole life. And, I watched people have a vision of what they wanted their life to be like, a dream, and to go out there and work really hard and make that into reality. I watched people do this that were really close to me, like my parents and others in my family, and I was inspired by this. And so, ever since I was a little kid, I knew I wanted to be a part of Nu Skin. I knew that I wanted to be here, and my dad was one of the mentors for me, and he was an amazing entrepreneur, and he would talk about something pretty regularly when I was growing up, okay, called the 40-year plan. People call it different things. You call it the rat race or, whatever you want to call it. But let's say that this timeline, represents your life, basically. The average life expectancy is about 80. And so that time is broken up into a few different periods. And we're going to talk about this lifestyle number one. You'll all be very, very familiar with lifestyle number one. Now, we spend the first part of our life acquiring skills. I have a new little boy, 1 year old. He just started walking. It melts my heart, right? Well, this is a skill he's going to have for the rest of his life, right? He can walk now. And he's going to acquire more skills like we all do and get a degree. And the idea of the 40-year plan is to become as specialized as we can so that we can go out there and what? We can go out there and use those skills, right? Now, of course, we're doing other things, but what these bars, represent are what the focus is of that time frame. Of course, we're going to have time for family and, maybe weekends and things like that here, but the majority of our time is going to be focused on what? On working, right? And after 40 years of working, usually for somebody else, we go into retirement and our golden years begin, okay? And it's almost like we've put together this bucket list over our life, right? We turn 65 years old. Do you guys know what a bucket list is? You all know what this is? It's a list of things that you've always wanted to do. And it's almost like we finally retire, we pull out this list, and we look at it. Put it a little bit of ways away there so I can see it. Right at the top of the list, base jumping. Well, that's off, right? I'm too old for base jumping at this point. What's next on this list? African safari. Well, I've always wanted to go to Africa. Maybe it's a little too hot. Maybe it's a little too expensive. So let's cross that off my bucket list. That door is closed. Climbing Mount Everest. Well, I don't have the legs for that anymore, right? Too cold. Let's cross that off my bucket list. I'm not going to do that. Here it is. I can move to Florida. Sweet. All right, that's how I'm going to spend the rest of my retirement. I'm going to move to Florida. And my biggest fear is that I will grow up and I'll become an old man someday and I'll look back at my life and I will see missed opportunities. Now, most people miss opportunities all throughout their life because of time and money constraints, right? They don't have the time freedom, they don't have the money, so they put things off until it's too late. Now, my dad talked about this all the time, but he also told us that there was a better way. And that's what we're here to talk about, okay? Now, we still will spend time acquiring skills as part of lifestyle number two. We're still going to spend time working hard. And everybody in here is in a different path, a little bit of a different journey, different ages. We've all spent different amounts of time working hard. But today we're going to talk about working smart, compressing time and energy into a window of growth with Nu Skin to create a better lifestyle so that we can really enjoy life, so that the rest of our life can be focused on enjoyment. Now, granted, there's still going to be work in there. You're still going to have some other things, but the focus is on enjoyment. Now, what sounds better, lifestyle one or two? Two, right? I mean, this is just basic. Of course, when you look at it like this, of course you would choose option number two. Well, when my mom was a little girl, she was walking down the streets of New York City with my grandpa, who was a carpenter. And she pointed up to the buildings and she says, "Dad, one day I'm going to live in one of those buildings." And he looked at his daughter there and said, "Well, you're going to have to work really hard if you want to be there." And she thought about that for a second and says, "Dad, you work hard. Why do we live in Massapequa, right? Why aren't we up there in that building?" And he thought about that a little bit more and goes, "You know what, Sandy? To be up there in that apartment, you're going to have to work smart." And that's the truth. If you're going to be successful, not just in this business, but in anything, you're going to have to work smart. And what this business gave me and gives all of us is an opportunity to do that at the highest level. So much more than we could ever do by ourselves because we are aligned with the right business. Now, when you look at the right business, a few different points are going to fall into this. And today during the presentation, I'm going to talk about trends. I'm going to talk about technology and products. I'm going to talk about the company itself, compensation, and timing. If you look at any successful entrepreneurial story, there's a combination of factors to make that success happen. And I guess I should probably finish the story. Last week, I visited my mom's apartment on the 80th floor of a beautiful building in New York City. And so this is possible. Okay, but I'm going to tell a little bit more of my mom's story at this point. Okay, talking about some of these market trends. So Nu Skin started 30 years ago. This is a 30-year-old company. And one thing that they noticed was growth in the anti-aging market. Are we seeing that today? Absolutely, right? Anti-aging is one of the mega trends that is really shaping the economy. It's one of the things that's really growing right now, along with health and wellness. Successful entrepreneurs position themselves in front of market trends. We also have the technology and communication booms that we're seeing right now, okay, as well as, supplemental income. These are all trends that are shaping our economy and shaping our world. Let's get in front of those trends. When my mom, Sandy Tillotson, and two of her friends started Nu Skin, they had some basic skincare products. And the focus was all of the good and none of the bad. They basically made a list of all these good ingredients and put them in a product. And guess what? People loved it. It was a revolutionary concept for the time, and people started using the product. Well, over the past 30 years, we spent hundreds of millions of dollars on innovation. This is our innovation center in Provo, Utah. We have some of the best chief scientific officers in the world that focus on identifying and addressing the sources of aging. While our competitors focus on the signs and the symptoms, we're actually able to address aging at its source. And we're not only doing this on a, ingredient level, scientific level, we're doing it with people's emotions as well. Recently our research and development, our innovation has been focused on patented technologies that have an emotional impact on people. And some of you have experienced these products and you felt that emotional impact. A few years ago, I was house shopping with my wife, and we went to home after home after home. Eventually, I'm like, man, let's just pick one already. Like we've seen so many of these things, right? And then she walked into a house and she gasped. And all of a sudden, that home hit her on an emotional level. It's like, all right, I don't care what it costs. We're going to live here, I guess, right? Like, I guess it's a done deal because I could tell that she had an emotional response. Well, people buy products based on emotion, and that's what these technologies do for us. The facial spa, age lock, and the biophotonic scanner. I'd like to start off first talking about the biophotonic scanner. This amazing technology uses light to give you an antioxidant score. It puts you on this chart from low antioxidant protection to high antioxidant protection. And using this technology, we've been able to develop the best vitamin supplement and nutritional products in the world, bar none, that is actually guaranteed to raise your score. Now, when I first was scanned, I was 18 years old. I was an athlete, right? I was healthy. But I was a nutritional disaster. I was eating like frozen burritos, frozen pizzas. That was it, right? Like every other 18-year-old. And it wasn't reflecting very well on my scan score. Well, now that I'm on the products, I scan up there at the blues. But when I first got scanned, it brought something to my attention that I was deficient and I needed to improve that score in a big way. Age lock is another driving factor within Nu Skin. Do we have any people that have used age lock in the room? Like, do you guys like age lock? All right, this is incredible stuff, right? Now, age lock takes anti-aging, that whole concept, and it incorporates gene expression science. We acquired a company called LifeGen Technologies. They'd been doing research in the field of epigenetics for about 30 years, and we took their science, their research, and kind of focused it onto our product categories. And now we have age-lock products that focus on energy with age-lock vitality, with body composition with TR90, and of course with the skin with the transformation system and TrueFace Essence Ultra. People love these products. They use them, and they've never experienced anything like that, and that hits them on an emotional level. If they get a few skin compliments, it's like a done deal, right? They're going to be using this stuff forever because now their ego's involved, their emotions are involved there. But probably the technology that impacts emotions at the highest level is this facial spa device. And I love the facial spa. It's basically spa results in home in minutes. And it's so powerful, you can use it on half of someone's face, and they can look in the mirror and see it immediately. And man, it is easy to move product when people can look in the mirror and they see their younger self, right? What could be what is. Like, I'd probably choose, what's possible here. And it opens the door for more product conversations as well. And so we are the difference demonstrated. That is the focus of our company. And what do you want to age like? Is it skin? Is it energy? Is it body? Is it health? What's important to you? You can find it with this incredible company. Now, our company, Nu Skin Enterprises, is publicly traded. We've been in business for 30 years. We did $3.18 billion in sales last year. We are a big, solid company. Forbes had us as the 5th most trustworthy company back in 2010, right? 5A1, Dun & Bradstreet rating. Lots of great things being said about Nu Skin. And again, me as my 18-year-old self, when I first joined Nu Skin as a distributor, this was important because I knew that I'd found a company that I could trust long term, that this company wasn't going anywhere. And I fell in love with that idea. I knew that it was committed to the long term. And this is our growth in Nu Skin over the past 10 years. I joined in 2003, so this is my growth, basically. I did all this. Just kidding. That's an absolute joke, right? In fact, those of you sitting in the front might be able to see my little speck of contribution. Like in the back, there's no way you can see what I did. And that's what's so much fun about being with a growth company. You don't have to be the guy, right? You don't have to be the first one involved in order to build a business when there's growth happening around you. Okay, catching a wave is a lot of work. It is, but it's worth it. And we have a lot of fun doing it. And we also do a lot of good in the world. We have an amazing program called Nourish the Children and a product called Vitameal. And after my presentation today, if you're not interested in our age lock products, if you're not interested in having a half-face spa demo, if you're not interested in our business model, that's fine, okay? At the very least, we invite you to help us with this major initiative of Nu Skin, which is eliminating death by starvation in children around the world. So far, we've donated 355 million meals, and I think that deserves a big round of applause for Nu Skin. Changing lives, right? And as lives change with the products, obviously being fed by our unbelievable, Vitameal product and other things, we end up talking about stuff, right? We're social. By nature, if I go to a good restaurant in Salt Lake or something, I'm going to talk about it, right? Or if I see a good movie, we just end up sharing these things. And now with Facebook and Instagram and all these things, it speeds up the whole sharing process, right? And how we can get involved with this Nu Skin movement is through our social capital. Now, social capital is basically contacts and your credibility with those contacts, right? What is the value of that Facebook account? Does it actually have a value to you? How much would you sell me your Facebook for? Is there a number? Could you put a number on that with all of those relationships and contacts? No. But most people don't think of that being any kind of anything, of substance, right? But that's social capital. You can build a big business around that by using the products and sharing it. As distributors, we simply make connections from Nu Skin to the millions of consumers looking for what we have. And as we make those connections, right, we're not going to be driving around all over the place making product deliveries. That's not us. We introduce people to nuskin.com. And in 50 some odd countries, they can go on and they can purchase product directly from Nu Skin. And that gets shipped directly to their door, right? When I was 18 years old, this was my storefront. I had an online storefront. How many of you do online shopping? I mean, we have the holidays coming up, right? I'm sure many of you are going to be buying things online. That's another big mega trend that we are positioned perfectly in front of. If it's anything for health, if it's anything for anti-aging or for, personal care or anything like that, don't buy it from the store. Buy it direct from Nu Skin. It's more convenient. You save money. You get a far superior product, right? The product is unreal. So we have this online store that the company has invested hundreds of millions of dollars into in innovation over 30 years, right? With 200 some odd amazing products. So as we make these connections, we're able to build a business, and that can expand. My dad, Craig Tillotson, one of the founders one of the founding distributors of this company, he told me something really simple. Maybe he was telling to somebody else, and I just kind of overheard over there in the corner as a kid. He said, you get paid according to how many people you can reach. And that's true if I'm a dentist. It's true if I'm a school teacher, right, or whatever. You get paid according to how many people you reach on a daily basis. And this business model simply allows us to reach a large amount of people. Now, if you look at these numbers, these are the average monthly commissions of Nu Skin distributors over 53 different countries. Across the top, you see monthly commissions. Across the bottom, those are the annualized commissions. And there's something here for everybody, right? I was in a meeting yesterday, and people were motivated to make a few $100s. She said daycare costs $700 a month. It would be great if I had some way to pay for that. Right? So we have people that are being impacted at every level of this company. Over there, of course, everybody's eyes tends to gravitate to the right, okay? And I'm going to explain that a little bit more. The average blue diamond in Nu Skin makes $50,000 a month. That's an incredible amount of business. Now, how do they create that? And that's what I'm going to talk about right here. You see on the left, executive. The average executive in Nu Skin, $450 a month. You become an executive by finding customers, by organizing a small team of people that go out there and they move product to people, right? As you do that, you qualify as an executive. Our business model is simple. It's about becoming, creating, and multiplying, right? You want to become an executive and then help other people do that and then reach others and others and others through this process, right? The bigger the impact you can have in other people's lives, the more money Nu Skin is willing to pay you. And so as you move from the left to the right, 1, 2, 4, all these different pin titles, it's because you are being a mentor to new executives getting involved in the business. Now that number on the far right, okay, and actually any of those numbers, as you move from the left to the right of this chart, it's about earning a leveraged income. There's no way I could meet enough customers, be in front of enough people to earn that level of commission by myself. Now, most people are used to earning money by themselves, right? Linear income, you work an hour, you get paid an hour. This is about creating leveraged income, which means earning a small percentage on the efforts of a lot of people. And I've seen the lifestyle that this creates. Now, it's not easy, okay? It is a lot of work. And you have to work at it for a while. This is not a get-rich-quick program, but this is a legitimate business vehicle that lets you move amazing products into the marketplace incredibly efficiently. Now, along the way, as if the income that we earned wasn't good enough, Nu Skin's going to send us on success trips, right? As we become ruby, emeralds, and diamonds and beyond in this business, we earn trip after trip after trip. And right now, we're all stoked to qualify for a trip to a trip to? Alaska. Exactly. An Alaskan cruise, 7 days, they're going to pay for everything. Are you kidding me? That's awesome, right? And so there's trips along the way. But keep in mind, we've been in business now for 30 years. This is an established business model with a proven compensation plan. We're not throwing up hypotheticals or making any kinds of promises on income that you are guaranteed to earn or anything like that. This is a legitimate business, but it has a proven track record. As a company, we've created over 1,000 lifetime million-dollar earners, an incredible place to create success. Now, we're not doing this alone. When I joined Nu Skin, I was 18 years old. I didn't know the next thing about being in business. But I was able to find a mentor. In fact, I found a whole team. I found a whole family of people that would coach me, teach me how to do this business. They taught me the mindset, the knowledge, and the skills that I needed to be successful. I was not doing this business alone. And I mean, that in and of itself has incredible value. I cannot overstate how important this was to me developing my business. So thank you, each and every one of you, for teaching me how to do Nu Skin. My applause to you. The last of those 5 key points that I'm going to talk about tonight is timing. What is the window of opportunity like for us right now? Well, this is a global company, and we have a global opportunity with a global seamless compensation plan, which means if a friend of yours in Japan buys a product as a customer, guess what? You earn a commission. If a friend of yours in Argentina, come on, Argentines, where was it? If a friend of yours in Argentina, okay, buys a product, right? that you're able to earn a commission off of that, even though maybe you've never even been to Argentina before. Incredible. And so it's a global opportunity. Now, our global goal is to become a $10 billion company by 2020. Is there some upside there? Last year, Nu Skin did $3.18 billion. There's an incredible amount of upside there for us to grow with. Now, just here in North America, we have the ambitious goal, it's absolutely achievable, of doing $1 billion. And as that happens, okay, as we do $1 billion in North America, or should I say the entire Americas region, what does that mean for us as the distributors? Well, that means $370 million in new distributor commissions that they will pay once we've reached that level that they're not paying right now. An incredible amount of income. It means that we need about 1,000 new blue diamonds. High levels of leadership. We need new leadership within Nu Skin to reach that goal. And on top of Blue Diamond, we need tens of thousands of other distributor leaders, and obviously finding, hundreds of thousands of customers around our region. But timing is essential in business. They say timing is about being in the right place at the right time. And you know what? That's true to a point. But the people in my family that are successful, they are not successful because they were in the right place at the right time. They're successful because they were in the right place at the right time doing the right things. And that made all the difference. And so taking action in Nu Skin is simple, okay? It's about having a plan, setting a goal for yourself. This is the 4-step plan. Now, you can put this into a 4-year time frame. You can put this into 10 years. Set your goal after looking at these steps. Step 1 is becoming an executive yourself, finding customers, building that base, right? Creating 4 other executives, basically you choosing to work smart, finding 4 others that want to do the same thing. As you do that, you'll qualify for a success trip as a Ruby, right? Incredible. Step 2, or if it's your goal, year 2 of your plan, help 2 more people become executive, right? Continue to work with those original 4 and build. Of course, you qualify for another trip, and now you're at the emerald level in compensation. Step 3 of this 4-step plan, find 2 more people, right? Just continue to build, continue to coach, continue to mentor, helping them reach more customers, helping them build their business. You qualify for another trip as well. Now, through this process, you're learning skills, you're acquiring skills, you're implementing them, and then you're teaching others these skills and mastering them. Step 4 of the plan, identify 4 other leaders. Now, that makes you a blue diamond in Nu Skin, and you've now been on 4 trips. You're almost tripped out, right? But you've been going with your team. And as your team develops, now you're going with your friends. What you're going to end up with at the end of this is, yes, better lifestyle. But you're also going to end up with what? More friends, an increased circle of influence, a bigger impact in the world, right? You're going to have a lot of fun. You'll probably get a few sunburns on these trips, right? It's going to be awesome. Taking action starts with a product experience. We have different starter packages. Each one costs $375. So they're all designed to be really affordable for people to basically experience that first round of Nu Skin products. These retail for $450. And there's a few different promotions that you could take advantage of. You can take advantage of the buy 3, get 1 free promotion. It involves a lot of product experience. We have a lot of great stuff. I encourage you to try it all, right? When the timing makes sense for you. And there's another promotion you could take advantage of that's buy 1, enroll 3, and get 1 free. There's different duplication models that will work for you. Talk to the person that invited you here and ask them, how should I get started with Nu Skin? I should point out that it doesn't cost anything to become a Nu Skin distributor. Okay, it doesn't cost us anything. But you need to have a product experience to really go out there and be effective. That's what I did, and man, I love the products too, right? It's a built-in benefit. You get to use this stuff. Now, I started out my presentation with this slide. I hope these words mean something different to you now. What does innovation mean? Well, that's been Nu Skin's commitment for the past 30 years to make it what I believe the best entrepreneurial story on the planet today. I honestly believe you'll get a better return on your time and energy investment by working and involving yourself with this community than doing anything else. Now, vision, that should mean something too. I want you to pull out that bucket list and maybe start doing some of these things, right? focus on enjoying life a little bit more because you found a better business vehicle that allows you to work smart. Now, what does stability and trust mean? Well, that means that you're here for the long term. You see, this was not a one-step plan that I told you. It's a four-step plan, right? You want to make a long-term commitment to this amazing company. Now, the last point there is your future. I hope you see that these elements can impact your future in a dramatic way. I know when I was 18 years old, that's when I joined. Man, I didn't know, and I almost didn't know any better. I'd seen the success, I had the belief, and I jumped in. And to see how my life has changed, how my world has been impacted so dramatically by this amazing company. I love Nu Skin. And I know as you use our products, as you learn more about us, you will grow to love Nu Skin. And I hope that Nu Skin will become your future as well. Thanks a lot, everybody.